Sloppy Joe Kolaches. We're basically making a brioche dough for these with 120 grams of water, 120 grams of milk, and 2.5 teaspoons of yeast with 30 grams of sugar to feed on. This is brioche. We're going to need a couple eggs added to this dough, and all-purpose flour, 480 grams. Whenever making bread, it's important to let your dough hydrate before we can work the gluten. Cover with plastic. We'll get back to that in a few. Now that dough is ready to accept the softened butter and 8 grams of salt. Work it in. It always takes some doing to work in the butter. It's fine. See how it came together? Good. It's starting to knead, and you can set your timer for 5 minutes. That consistency is beautiful, and like any good dough, it's good to rest and rise. I'm starting with bacon grease because I have it. Bacon and hamburger go so well together. And we're going to cook our veggies in it, including onions and peppers, finely diced. We're trying to break these down and concentrate them so that they disappear. Once most of that water's evaporated, add some tomato paste and cook that down. That's concentrated flavor. By keeping the ground beef raw, it'll be juicy, and a little baking soda will help tenderize it. We're not using a binder like crackers or breadcrumbs, but the baking soda will keep this tender. The garlic's gonna stay raw. Most of the veggies are cooked to release their water, but adding the garlic raw will give it a good zing. Now we're gonna give this flavor with soy sauce, sugar, apple cider vinegar for tang, a little Worcestershire and Dijon, ketchup, and those veggies. Might as well go in with your hands. That dough is risen, and we got to portion it into 8 balls, about 109 grams apiece. Ball them up, but keep them covered. Before we stuff these, we got to roll them out into about 6-inch discs and keep them covered as you go. And because we rolled them out before we filled them, the dough is going to be an even thickness throughout. Wrap them up, pinch them closed, and let them proof before we bake them. Hopefully we don't have any leakers. Once they're ready, they get an egg wash and sesame seeds before we go into a 400-degree oven to bake. 25 minutes later, they're done.
That's one blowout.
Hey, one blowout. You're always going to have a blowout. The f***. But let them rest before you eat them.
Oh, man. I love the grease-soaked bun. It's so good. That blows a lunch lady out of the water.
Nailed it.
It's like a sloppy Joe in a blanket.
I love the traditional, but the sloppy Joe is my new favorite.
Way better than school lunch.